What is up, beautiful friends? It's KoreenaCatheryn, and today is the first video on my channel that I have done in a long time. That was a really weird way to say that. I haven't uploaded in a while. I think that's probably the first sentence of every single video I've ever made. Doesn't matter. You guys know I'm not regularly making videos anymore. And today, instead of making a singing video for you guys, let's talk about money. Because I feel like we don't talk about money enough. And I've never talked about money with you guys because my channel has never been a lifestyle channel or a financial channel, but the thing about my channel is it's mine and I can do with it whatever I want, whether people ask for it or not. So I'm making this video, and maybe I'll find people out there that like it and want to watch it, and maybe I will just make them for me, but that's kind of what's up. Ignore my naked cat in the background. My naked cat. And my other cat and any other animals that happen to wander through. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Anyway, so this video is going to be low-key. It's me talking to the camera. There's not a lot of editing that's going to happen. I'll edit as necessary, but I have a new job. Life is busy. I don't have time to be editing fancy videos, so that's just going to be what's up. But today I want to talk to you guys about money because I have spent the majority of my 24-year-old life not talking about money with anyone. Other than, you know, that casual kind of like, oh man, life's so expensive, gas prices, rent, that everybody mentions. But nobody really goes into details about their financial situation unless they're like doing really well, and I think that's stupid. Especially here on YouTube, there are a lot of people that make money on YouTube. There are a lot of people that don't make money on YouTube, whether they don't have enough followers or whether they're just like, that's not their YouTube goal. It's never been my goal. Well, that's not true. When I first started doing YouTube, I kind of imagined I'd get YouTube famous, but it wasn't for money, it was for fame. Like, let's be real, I'm a musician, it's what I wanted. I've since grown long past that, and YouTube is no longer something I do with the hope of ever making money on it. It's just something I do because it's a good creative outlet for me. I like to write, I like to create things with my hands, but when I'm too lazy to do that, I like to talk, and so that's how I make YouTube videos, and I like to sing. So just as a preface, I'm not making this video to try and gain more popularity on my channel. I'm not making this video to eventually make money on my channel. I am making this video because I want to talk to somebody about budgeting and finance and money, and right now the internet feels like a good place to start. Because I've never talked about it with other people in my life. A little bit recently, but not that much. And so today I want to talk to you guys about how I came to this decision, and then there will be future videos that are kind of details and whatnot. Now, I will say, I have spent the past like 3 months diving so deep into the YouTube hole that is budget YouTubers and financial advice YouTubers and people that are trying to pay off their debts and people that are making budgets every single week and people that are using all kinds of fancy systems and have fancy planners and all that pretty stuff. And the one thing that I found is that many of those people either have partners that they share some bill responsibility with, or children that they have to account for, or both. And I would love to see more people sharing their financial journeys that are in a similar situation that I'm in, which right now is single, no children. I do have pets, and they can be just as expensive sometimes. But single, no children. I do live with a roommate, so I don't pay all of the rent on my own. But that kind of thing, like a young working, and there's quite a few college students out there too, and wish I'd watched you guys when I was in college. Power to you. I'm not in college anymore. I do work full time, so that's kind of what this is about. For those of you that want my stats to find out if I am going to be relatable to you guys and if my budget videos are going to be at all helpful to you, I am a 24-year-old single female. I live in California, so that's why sometimes prices may seem kind of high to you, because California is one of the most expensive places in the world to live. I do not have any children. I don't share my income with anyone. I do have a housemate that I share my apartment with, and we do split some things there. And I have pets, and I have many pets. So if you're an animal lover and you want to know how to budget for several pets, please come watch my videos, because currently I have this kitty over here, and I have one kitty that's up there, and I have 2 small dogs that are my small dogs, and then I have 1 reptile, 2 reptile, 3 reptile, and then 4 more you cannot see. They are not all personally mine, but I do buy a lot of supplies for all of them. So those are kind of the big ticket items about me. And I'm a college graduate, so I have debt. Not all college graduates have debts. Some of you is lucky, and some of you has either family that helps you out, or you worked your butts off and you got some kind of scholarship. And I did have some scholarships, but they were small. So the types of debt I have student loan debt, I have a car payment for a car I probably shouldn't have bought and can't afford, and I have credit card debt. And those are my 3 types of debt that I have that I will be attempting to pay off much sooner than I should pay them off. So that's me. That's Koreena. That's kind of my numbers and my statistics and whatnot. So you can decide if my content is going to be relatable to you, and if it's not, maybe you watch a different budget YouTuber. But I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just making these videos. I'm just putting them out there because I want to share this journey with someone, and I don't have a lot of people in my life that are on a similar journey. That's not to say I don't have support. It is really important to have support if you are going to be on a budget and trying not to spend things that you don't need to spend, and trying to put as much money towards savings or as much money towards paying off debt. You need to have a support system, and whether that support system is people that you know in your actual life or people that you connect with online, either one will work, though I think it is important for people in your everyday life to understand what you're going through so that you don't feel pressured to spend money when they're spending money and all that good stuff. But the very first step that I hit was stopping living in, you know, a false reality, stopped pretending my finances didn't exist, and facing my spending and my budget and what I was making. I think that's got to be anyone's first step, because if you're not ready to face up to that, then you're not ready to start budgeting and paying off debt. If you can't even look at your bank account and you just swipe your card and hope it goes through, which luckily I was never that terrible, but I was definitely one of those people that was like, if I have this much money in my bank account, I can spend that much money once my bills are paid. And the big deal is, like, yes, that's still going to be how I live my life, but I'm going to categorize things, and my bills no longer are just the minimum payments on things, because that's really where it's that mindset of paying your minimum payment, and, you know, being good enough that will keep you in debt for your entire life. And I have recently decided that even though a lot of people live their lives that way, I don't want to live my life that way. I don't want to carry around debt for the rest of my life, even if it's a small amount of debt, or even if it's good debt, like a mortgage or student loans, or, you know, things that show you were being responsible. I don't want to carry that around with me. So I started back in probably the end of 2018, beginning of 2019. I woke up one day, went, holy guacamole, I owe a lot of money. It's not that I woke up one day owing that money. I owed that money for a long time, but I am, you know, at the time I was 23. Probably I started to think about it when I was 22, but I ignored it for longer. I'm 23 years old, I'm a college graduate, and I already have so much debt, and this is how I'm starting my life, and I was ashamed and embarrassed and stressed beyond belief. You guys, I don't suffer from any generalized anxiety or depression or anything like that, but I am a normal human being, so money stresses me out, and I think it stresses a lot of people out, especially when there isn't enough money. And if you're the kind of person that has always lived paycheck to paycheck, you wait until you get money, and then you buy things, and then you pay your bills, and then you're like, oh, no money left, and then you get another paycheck, and then you buy things, and you pay your bills. Like, this is a cycle that we live in, right? You don't have to live that way, and but it takes you making that decision first. So I have made that decision, and I am at the very beginning, the precipice of my debt-free journey. And I kind of hate that, like, word, because I don't know if I will ever be able to be, like, fully debt-free. And if I am, it's going to be a long time from now, because not only do I have the debts that exist currently, but at some point in the next few years, I would like to be able to buy my own house, and that will be a debt as well. Now, granted, a lot of people don't consider your mortgage to be debt. I do, though. So, you know, there we go. But I want to be at least debt-free on everything else before or during when I have a house payment. We'll just see how that goes in my life. Couple things about me and how I'm approaching this situation. I have watched a couple of pretty popular people doing financing and debt-free videos. I've watched quite a bit of Asia Dang. I find her really relatable, and I like her, and she's got dogs and no kids, and so I think, but she does make a significant amount of money more than I do, and she had a significant amount of debt more than I do, so it wasn't like super relatable for me to be able to look at her numbers and be like, how should I disperse my numbers? Plus she lives in LA, and that's even more expensive than the air of California I live in. But anyway, that aside, I've watched her. Honestly, I can't even tell you, like, I think maybe like Debt Kickin' Mom and a couple other people I have watched, and all of them mention this name, Dave Ramsey, which I went, well, you know, everything they say about his budgeting technique sounds like it's probably what I've been trying to do my whole life, but didn't really know a lot about. Namely, what I'm taking from Dave Ramsey is the budget snowball method for repaying off your debt. Basically, you start with your smallest account, how much you owe on that smallest account, knock that out, and then you pay whatever money you were paying towards that and add it into your next smallest. As the whole time you're paying minimum payments on everything. Obviously, you don't want to get behind on your bills. But then like you're adding and adding so that by the time you get to that last big account, whatever that is, you've got all this money that you're spending on the other cards. So instead of what I was doing before, and what I think a lot of people was doing before, is, you know, paying minimum payments or maybe paying a little more than your minimum payment forever and ever and ever, and then if you pay one thing off, you're like, oh look, now I have more spending money. No. While you're trying to actively pay off debt, any extra money you have, like you live with what you need, you take what you need to pay your very basic necessities. I personally also will take a little bit to put towards wants and things that are maybe a little frivolous, but that's the life I'm choosing. And then everything else goes to debt. So once you have free up money from not making that bill, it goes to just paying extra on another debt payment. So that's the debt snowball method. The debt avalanche method, which is also a Dave Ramsey method, would be if you wanted to attack your highest interest rates first. Luckily for me, it's actually the exact same. My highest interest rate is also my smallest balance, and it works its way up and down that way. So I didn't have to choose one, but I think I would have chosen the snowball no matter what, because I just like being able to get rewards as you go, and I think positive reinforcement is really important in animals and people. So that's what's going on with me and what I'm choosing to pull from Dave Ramsey. I am not pulling almost anything else from him. I will say this could probably be its entire own video, and maybe one day I will do an entire video on it, but I don't agree with a lot of other Dave Ramsey methods personally for me. I know they work a lot for other people, and that's wonderful, and if you are wanting to start a debt-free journey, I definitely look at him because he is one of the most popular finance people, but he is not the only person that has ever gotten out of debt and ever given other people advice about it. So for those of you who are like hardcore Dave Ramsey fans, power to you, do what you gotta do, but don't come at other people that aren't following those methods. It's rude, and I'm not here for it. A big part for me is that I finally decided to try and listen. You know what? No, that's another video. If you guys want a video on why I'm not like all on the Dave Ramsey train as I start this debt-free journey, let me know. But full disclosure, I am pulling a lot of stuff from videos I've watched of people that follow him, and I haven't actually looked at any of his content like directly from him, but a lot of people that I know are avid followers of all his methods. I'm borrowing stuff from them. So there you go. Cool. I think that's going to be it for this very first intro video. I'll probably film a second video today, so excuse if I'm wearing the same outfit in that video, but that's probably it for the intro video. I do want to end by saying, what was even the point of this video? I'm so sorry, guys. This one was kind of me just needing to get my thoughts out there. This is me saying I'm going to start talking about money. If you're interested in following me trying to get out of debt and me trying to budget responsibly, please subscribe to this channel, or don't. Just check up on it. I really don't care. You're welcome to do whatever you'd like to do, because like I said, I'm not making these for followers. I'm not making these for money. I'm just making these so that I can put it out there in the world, and if there's anybody out there that is helped by it, then I hope that makes them happy. And it helps them. So I will end this video by saying that the next video is going to be more detailed of how I got into the debt I got into, how much debt I currently have, and why I'm deciding now to try and pay off my debt. But until then, I hope you enjoy. If you'd like to browse other videos on my channel, they're mostly me singing Broadway songs, sometimes a pop song here or there, sometimes I pull out the guitar, but please enjoy, and I will see you guys next time.